Hello and welcome to another edition of Marketing Monday. This is the third and final edition for this week. If you're new to my channel, then welcome. Here I discuss marketing news from Monday through Wednesday and fintech news from Thursday to Saturday. So if that interests you, then keep watching, because today we're going to be discussing about Instagram's disclaimer that they're no longer a photo sharing app and what that means for marketers. But before we get into that, let's start off with this short update from Adam Mosseri, the head of Instagram, and what he had to say about this.
Hey everyone, I thought it would be good to start sharing more about what we're currently working on or accelerated the shift of commerce from offline to online by a number of years, and we're trying to lean into that trend. And the fourth is messaging. How people connect with their close friends has changed a lot over the last 5 years or so, and has moved primarily to messaging away from feed and stories products. But today I actually want to talk a bit more about video. And I want to start by saying we're no longer a photo sharing app or a Square photo sharing app. The number one reason people say that they use Instagram in research is to be entertained. So people are looking to us for that. So actually this past week in our internal all hands, I shared a lot about what we're trying to do to lean into that trend, into entertainment and into video. Because let's be honest, there's some really serious competition right now. TikTok is huge, YouTube is even bigger, and there's lots of other upstarts as well. And so people are looking to Instagram to be entertained, there's stiff competition, and there's more to do, then we have to embrace that. And that means change. So what you're gonna see over the next couple months really is us start to experiment more in the space of what we call recommendations. So showing you things in feed that you may not be following yet. We just started testing an early version of this last week. This week is a new version that's coming out with topics where you can say which topics you want to see more of or less of. But we're also going to be experimenting with how do we embrace video more broadly. Full screen, immersive, entertaining, mobile first video. And so you'll see us do a number of things or experiment with a number of things in this space over the coming months. Now, we have an idea of where we're going to end up in a half a year or a year's time, but I'm sure things are going to change many times between now and then. This isn't something that we can just do overnight. So you'll see us iterate and try and be very public about what we're doing and why with videos like this one. Anyway, hopefully you'll enjoy it. Peace.
Alright, so the agenda is clear, guys. They are pivoting away from photos and reeling towards videos, pun intended. Also, they're opening up commerce activities. This also ties in with the recent launch of ads on Instagram. But for marketers, there's a whole lot to look forward to. This update made it seem a lot like they were going right up against TikTok, and about time too, since TikTok recently increased their ad prices on their platform. Now before all that, why should marketers even be paying serious attention to Instagram? Kaggle had recently released a report in the early 2020 titled Viewability versus Memorability. The insights from the report concluded that viewability, that has been traditionally used as a metric to gauge digital campaigns' effectiveness, was not exactly as effective as memorability. And that there was no visible correlation between that and visibility. Also, interestingly, visibility doesn't always translate to higher user engagement. And by the way, their research also found that Instagram ranked the highest in ad effectiveness despite a low share of the session. The research revealed that 77% of users look at an ad in some point of time in their during their Instagram session, proving it to be 8.3 times more effective than gaming and 5.4 times more effective than when viewing on desktop. Additionally, those that took part in the study also felt favorably towards the interface of Instagram ads, as the ads were built seamlessly into the experience as a part of their native feed. Alright, with that backdrop, let's assess what the new shifts in Instagram strategy means for marketers and how we marketers can leverage the same. First and foremost, the plain square photo montages and Canva templated carousels are slowly moving out of fashion. I know there have been numerous strategists who've helped you design those Byzantine carousels and decks, but they're no longer going to be serving your purpose, especially if you're hoping for organic reach and aren't doing any paid marketing. Why? Well, because Instagram was toying with showing recommended posts or ads ahead of those that people follow or the hashtags that you follow and generally engage on. That aside, by Instagram's own admission, vertical videos and stories have performed much better in terms of click-through, and that is now also available on Reels. And when it comes to reels, there's a strategy to it. Of course, entertaining content is the most important thing, but realizing how the audience consumes content on reels is also equally important. Often they're probably just passively scrolling through, and maybe without sound that too. So the first 3 seconds of the reel have to have a very clear call to action, and that action should lead them to watch or rewatching that reel. One thing that I've noticed in the most engaged reels on the platform is some of the following. They have a very enticing cover pic, a very clickbaity sort of a cover pic, if you may. Their first 3 seconds is something on the lines of want to know how I got XYZ or something equally aspirational. The rest of the reels moves at a record speed, even though the content isn't really that heavy and they could have easily paced it out in 30 seconds. That is all about my observations on Reel. Now, from what I can see, Instagram is pushing for all forms of video content, IGTV and live streaming being the other two. One common thing I see in IGTV for most brands that are currently on Instagram is that they use the same video that's already present on their YouTube channels here. So sometimes it may not really be that mobile friendly. Obviously, that is the first check that will need to be placed for marketers, that the video created for IGTV are in the vertical format. Also, marketers must realize that the behavior on Instagram and YouTube are totally different. People visit YouTube when they want to know something more. They search for those terms out and then land up on your video. So they have the time and mental bandwidth to spend watching on your video. But that is not exactly true on Instagram. They're there to discover your video by a happy coincidence. So that is exactly what it should be. Happy, not somber. Okay, now I am no content strategist at all. So I shall just leave my views and rants at that. And let's move on to the live video section. Now this is what I'm excited about because this beautifully ties in with the aspect of commerce. If you're asking how, well then you certainly missed out my previous video on Glow Road, so do check that out. But long story short, Livestream is a super effective tool for video commerce and this isn't new at all. Some of China's new age millionaires made their fortunes live streaming affiliate brands products. Live streaming is like the new home Shopee, but with a trendy influencer for the anchor. In fact, last year, amidst the pandemic and all, one influencer in China even managed to sell a luxury car in her live stream. Crazy, right? Not so crazy because Instagram has been paying attention to that. And now they too shall be supporting commerce activities on their platform. So far, affiliate marketing programs required influencers to provide a link to customers, which they would then use to buy products or avail discounts and the likes. And part of the order value that the customer placed using that link would go back to the influencer. Now, brands have started onboarding micro and nano influencers too to help raise awareness of their products and services. And if Instagram can provide a service that streamlines all of that, so that small influencers have the tools they need to earn more with it, it will be a win-win-win for all parties involved. Except probably us consumers who would ultimately have to end up paying a lot more from our pockets. But that's okay. I always like shopping something that I actually truly like and it's been recommended by a friend or someone I trust. So yeah, win for me too, I guess. Anyway, that brings us to the wrap of today's edition. And if you like this, then please do give it a like. Share it with your friends who you think may enjoy this. And do stick around for more such content. To do that, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so that you're notified the next time I upload a brand new content. And I will be back again discussing some of the hot news from the fintech world. So if you want to be posted about that, you know the drill. Oh, by the way, if you feel that I left something out of this video or I could have improved upon or just, was wrong about something, do feel free to drop in a comment as well and I will get back to you. Until then, as always, stay healthy, stay safe. Bye.